Going Through the Fires of Life with Jesus by Pastor Robert McKim. Chapter 13. My Prophetic Dreams I Have Been Having. I believe that we all have a purpose that God made us to do in this world. Many are just called to be laborers, and some are called to be more, to teach those in the kingdom of God how they are to live in the times that are born in. Time is changing, but it still stays the same. Just like when Jesus said in Matthew 24:38-39, "For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark, and they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man." The pastor of the church moved to Port Clinton, Ohio. They had a daughter who had leukemia, and when they were living in Newcomerstown, she was in remission. But after they moved to Port Clinton, she got sick again and passed away at the age of 3. I was working and had a school bus route that I had to do. I went in to ask if it would be possible that I could have the afternoon route off, because I wanted to go to the funeral. It was more like a tugging at my soul, a calling for me to go there. I was told by the bus supervisor that I was needed to drive the bus for the evening route. I went back to the bus garage and was talking to some of the other bus drivers about what happened and wanting to go to the funeral. The next morning when I got to work, a lady friend who drove another bus told me to go back to the supervisor and talk to him again after my morning route. I went back and he told me that I have some very good bus driving friends, because after Thursday's evening route, they went to talk to him and worked it out so they could split up the route between 2 buses. I was able to leave and go home to get ready to go to Port Clinton, Ohio. I got home and found out that there were some issues with the car's transmission. We had to get a new valve and oil with a filter and had to wait till my cousin got home to work on it. We got it fixed and left around 10 o'clock p.m. We got there around 1 a.m. We went to the Assembly of God Church and surprised everyone who came up from Newcomerstown. I got a bad headache while we were there and stayed another night. We went to church the next day, which was a Sunday, and then we went to the wildlife safari for a little vacation. I later found out that the bus driver that made the arrangements with another bus driver and the supervisor was a member of the Assembly of God in New Philadelphia, Ohio. I had a dream in June of 2012 that I was watching TV and all of a sudden there was an emergency alert coming over the TV saying to stand by. Then it said to turn to your local news station. I turned the TV to the news, and they were saying that Syria, Egypt, and Iraq were sending missiles to Israel to destroy, and that the United States was sending ships, planes, missiles, and troops to defend Israel. I then woke up and went back to sleep. I have been hearing of missiles and tanks bombing Israel already, that the local news is not reporting. I have been having many dreams that have been waking me up. In the 2nd year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams. His mind was troubled, and he could not sleep. Daniel 2:1. Some are not so much troubling as others. I had a dream just tonight, on September 2nd, 2012. It was a dream about the verse about dogs going back after their own vomit. One of them, the proverbs are true. A dog returns to its vomit, and a sow that is washed returns to her wallowing in the mud. 2 Peter 2:22. In my dream, I was told that Christians were becoming more like dogs, and they were returning back to their own vomit because they refused to change and believe the truth of Jesus Christ. Many Christians and churches fight against abortion, but it is the law of the land. They also have been fighting same-sex marriages, but again, in some states, it is the law. There are many laws that we don't even know about and we are breaking just because we think that they are wrong and against God's will and holy law. Many Christians have gardens, but don't know there is a law that you have to have it restored with the government if you sell anything from your garden to make some money. Take for instance the marriage law in general. If many knew why it was made in the first place, then many true believers in Jesus would not have gotten married with a license. But like sheep led to the slaughter, we boldly go. The marriage law was made for one reason and one reason only, to take away the rights of the father to give his permission for his daughter to marry a man of another race. This law has extended into all marriages because the government wants total control of our lives and beliefs. Historically, all states in America had laws outlawing marriage of blacks and whites. In the mid-1800s, after the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865, certain states began allowing interracial marriages, or miscegenation, as long as those marrying received a license from the state. Black's Law Dictionary points to this historical fact when it defines marriage license as a license or permission granted by authority to persons who intend to intermarry. Intermarry is defined as miscegenation, mixed or interracial marriages. When you marry with a marriage license, you grant the state jurisdiction over your marriage. How can one argue with the truth? Many Christians believe that all people, even those who are not intermarrying, should have a marriage license. This is all led by false preachers and false doctrine. If two believers, a man and a woman, who are of the same race, marries another believer, then you are evenly yoked and don't need to have a marriage license. This is the true will of a God. All you have to do is to be married in the sight of him and witnesses. I had another dream the night of September 16th, 2012. In my dream, I was walking through an old warehouse where there was no work being done there anymore. I was walking through the building with a friend, and I came across some diagrams to the building and how to build or to work on something. While we were in the building, there were other people who were building barricades so the people in the building who are hiding can feel safe. After going back to where all the other people were and looking around, someone shouted that they had found us, and a small army of men with black riot gear came breaking through the barricades. The friend that was with me asked if I can remember what room I had saw the diagrams, and we started to run looking for them. I went to go into a room where I thought they were, and opened the door, and there were people in there hiding. They said to shut the door so the authorities can't find the Christians who are hiding here.